the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Emamo akwa baba Nsem-Pii TV so. Ene Paul Adum Ochere host Good Evening Ghana Jumede Metro TV. And odi Nsem-Pii abetu dwa efa communication officer for NDC here Sammy Gyamfi. Ene presidential staffer Dennis Miracles Aboagye. Also on Tiase say anytime bia Sammy Gyamfi beko one of the FM station bia omoma no Dennis Miracles Aboagye. Na mpanifo mienu we share FM station. Sammy Gyamfi etimi yese sebi akokɔ kra ontimi nkasa cause Dennis Miracles Aboagye punches na no odin. Nsem-Pii ana Paul Adumoche akasa afa sa nsem we ho. Yenko tie Paul Adumoche memra.
I think that the MPP may have found a communication antidote to my friend from Christ Embassy, Sammy Gyamfi. I don't know when Sammy Gyamfi will meet Miracles Aboagye and succeed. I don't know why they always present Sammy Gyamfi to Miracles. I watched this video, I said, hey, but every time they meet, must Miracles hound Sammy Gyamfi out of the studio with such very powerful truth? Have a look at this, have a look.
Say, NDC for Frempong Boateng say, yeah, galamsey pa ewo Ghana. Enti, the ewo report di muno. Yes, so ye jitu mu ana. Obi, minu ana expose no who say unpacking kind. That is why he has said so. Because Frempong Boateng be bi aniwa ewo in this 37-page report or see NDC for ye galamsey. There is no part of this report, and I'm just trying to find that relevant portion. What Frempong Boateng said, and he said, NDC for a well established in small scale mining. Obi, small scale mining. Ghana Mrama Hokwan. Paragraph 5, page 3. Muntie de Frempong Boateng Kanye. It is well known in small scale mining circles that NDC members and sympathizers were well established in small scale mining. Me ba to we galamsey. Atrofo mun kenkan na ma betra radio so na mo mislead amanfo asem wa Frempong Boateng abeto ya
medjuma en obi eni wa Ghana ha obi a wa Ghana ha bi eni
2 minutes each.
Obi, can I speak?
No, I'm here. You are giving how many minutes?
I want him to be here, so I embarrass him.
You are giving how many?
Can I speak? Can you
please
shut up? Shut up.
I want to control it. You need to cooperate with
It's okay.
But if you are sitting,
let him talk. Let him talk. Can you just leave and stop the nuisance? Professor from Bomante, what a reporting show. NDC for illegal mining. The guy is a pathological liar, and he says it with so much confidence. Or council no say the atom. Who can't throw? Who's I catch me, Mr. Meno? Meanwhile, you are lying. Obisha, Betie, or say, from what to say. In Wasa East District, a former NDC deputy minister who is also MP for Wasa East constituency has been actively mining in the Supreme area for years. Or say, when MPP party officials complained and the army component of the Operation Vanguard was withdrawn, almost 2 years to the 2020 elections, the NDC was given an advantage in terms of access to resources from mining. Obitiha. Or say, this is because there are far more NDC people engaged in illegal mining than MPP members in the region. It's in the Frempong Boateng report. The guy is a liar. He shouts and screams. He's a pathological lawyer. Or Chantro. Now me who lawyer to be here in Chantro say that. Also Ochere report no. He said it on record. Say Frempong Boateng said nowhere. Say NDC for engaged in illegal mining. Frempong Boateng report or say this is because there are far more NDC people engaged in illegal mining than MPP members in the region. Sammy Gyamfi is a liar. Obi o trying to be a convo.
Those are personal.
Now we're not here. We're not the radio station now.
Miracles. Tobo.
All right. This I just have to pass this small matter through, and then we will continue. We have some guests in the studio who, we like to encourage all of these young people. They're staging a play And because of Ebo White, more people are staging plays now. I saw the, and we need to encourage them, isn't it? So we'll be encouraging them. They're here. We'll put them on TV soon. There was this conference that was held. By the way, viewers, I have been told that Google was set up by, Google was founded by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Larry Page and Sergey Brin. And Larry Page. They set up Google. They founded Google, and Mark Zuckerberg has not yet bought it. All right, that's the factual information. Okay, you see my voice? Yeah, that's strong like that. All right. Now, may he rest in peace, Nsem-Pii Bafuboni. I heard the story about journalists are not well paid and all of that. And I listened to it carefully. I said, it's interesting. It's very sensitive, okay? Very, very sensitive. I think journalists here or journalists anywhere should be well paid. Even ahead of talking about paid, journalists work with tools. So it's important that journalists are given the tools. For me, that's the first thing. If I employ a journalist, first thing, you give him a computer, whether it's a laptop or it's a desktop, you give him a computer and you give him data so that he can do his work. You give him a mobility. Very, very important. Whether it's an office car or you give him a car or whatever it is, you give him a loan to buy a car. Mobility is important. He has to be mobile, okay? And he has to have a phone. So for me, I consider journalists that you employ. Thank you for the Fred Wise picture. I consider journalists that you employ that their phone is your responsibility. You have to buy the phone for them. Even if he comes to a job with the phone, you give him the phone that you want him to be able to use so that he can use it. You give him an iPhone, whatever. That's what I believe. In terms of paying, remunerating, I think that the journalist must justify it by the story that he does. That's what it is all over the world. Now, I can use myself as an example. When I didn't plan to be a journalist, by the way, I was doing my work, studying, university went on strike. I went to Radio Universe playing around with Aban Korahini, Ajoanyantin, Alhaji Siddiq was our boss, Professor Kwame Kaikai was there, and Mr. Bonakumsin was there too. And I was reading news on Radio Universe when Ochere, my friend from Presec, heard me say that at the end of the news that my name is Paul Adumochi. He said, is that Paul? Oh, Kagdi, I know him. He looked for me and said, I heard you reading news on it. I started here before. Ochere was in the studio. He came from America and I hosted him and I said the story. And Ochere said that, do you want to do media? I said, media? He said, let me take you to KKD, my own KKD. Took me to KKD and KKD said, I think you can do it. But the next week, KKD had left the company and Tommy and Amforsen had come in. Fred Oware was the owner of the business at the time. So they got me in. As an intern, I started reading news. What's his name again? George Brune. Great. George Brune will help me with some pronunciations here and there, and then I get it well, and then we read on, okay? And then Fred Oware took an interest in me and said, what do you do? I said, I'm a student at the university. So Fred Oware came and said, when you read the news in the morning, by the time I come to work, you are not here. I always hear you at 6 o'clock, and by the time I come, they say, you've gone. Where do you go? I said, I go to school. He said, where? I said, Legon. He said, oh, what are you studying? I told him, blah, blah, blah. Okay. He said, okay, that's good. So you're doing this as what, an intern? I said, yes. He was the owner of the business. He and Alhaji Nayak, they were the owners of Choice FM. Okay. He said, okay, that's good. So you're doing this as what, an intern? I said, yes. He was the owner of the business. He and Alhaji Nayak, they were the owners of Choice FM, as it was then called. Kwabena Peku was there, Sammy B was there, everybody was there, okay? And Kofi Owusu was there. They would teach me. In fact, I have to say something about Victor Markin. He taught me how to pronounce Arabian names, Hariri and all of that. But Victor Markin taught me that. So the news is ready. They give it to me because I'm an intern. They give it to me in the newsroom. I read it to Victor Markin. He says, no, check this one. Change this pronunciation. Change that. And then I go and read. When I finish reading, Tommy will say, you didn't pronounce this word well. So go back and say it again. And that's why Tommy taught me about saying the time. You don't say it's 10:32 on radio. You say hour to the half, and then from there you go to the next hour, because you have to prepare people's minds for the next hour and tell them they are getting late. So you don't say it is 10:45. You say it's 15 minutes to the top of the hour at 11. So from Fred Oware, I moved to let's have the other picture. I need to see Bafuboni, please. Fred Oware was great, and note him down. I moved to Bafuboni. I'm still a student, Bafoboni gives me a job on Fridays. I did that job with the current Deputy Chief of Staff, Emmanuel Bosman, Carlos von Brazil, the two of us. We did a program called Sunday Morning Rejoinder. What was the rejoinder about? Bafoboni is a big man on the NDC, and he felt that the Ghanaian Chronicle was giving the NDC bad press. I was friends with Kofi Kumsin, okay? And he felt that let's take the Ghanaian Chronicle stories, and instead of NDC people writing to Chronicle, they should write to our program, and then we publish their rejoinder. So the program was called the Friday Morning Rejoinder. Everybody was listening. Because Chronicle is daily. But was it daily at the time? Monday, Wednesday, something.